what is an expert? What is a specialist? And why would you want to become an expert or a specialist? That's what we're talking about today. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. Hi there, my name is Jennifer Cooper of JKC Mobile Notary, and welcome back. Today's video is one I've been thinking about for a while. I've heard people say, I'm an expert in my field, or I'm a notary who specializes in trust and estate document signings. So what qualifies you to be an expert or a specialist? I wanted to learn more, and now I want to share that with you. So let's get started. First, what is an expert or specialist? So here is the definition I found. An expert or specialist is a person who has acquired extensive knowledge or skill in a particular field or area through study, training, or experience. The depth and breadth of the knowledge typically surpasses that of a generalist or novice in the same field. Okay, so let's break that down a little bit more and let's talk about experts. So they need to have extensive knowledge or ability in a particular area. They are recognized as a reliable source of a technique or skill. They have a prolonged or intense experience through practice and education in a particular subject, and others in the field often seek and trust their opinion. Okay, so then what quantifies a specialist to be special, right? Those are the expert quantifications. What is a specialist? So a specialist is a person who concentrates primarily on a particular subject or activity. They are highly skilled in a specific and restricted field. They might have received specific training or certification in their area of expertise, and often a specialist has devoted a significant portion of their career or studies to one particular aspect of a broader field. So let's talk about some examples, because in medicine, while general practitioner has a broad knowledge about many aspects of health, a cardiologist is a specialist within the depth expertise about the heart and its related issues. It is worth noting for my discovery of all this, that while all specialists might be considered experts in their particular niche or area, not all experts are necessarily specialists. Some experts may have broad knowledge in various areas within a particular field. So there is a difference between being an expert and a specialist, and applying this to our notary world would be saying something like, she is an expert notary and he is a notary specializing in loan signings. I can give you some examples of people who fit these definitions. I'm going to start with Laura Buer, who was of Coach Me Laura and co-author of Beyond Loan Signings. She is an expert notary. She fits the outlined requirements of an expert. She has extensive knowledge of the role and responsibilities of the notary public. She is recognized as a reliable source on all things notary. She has prolonged experience through practice and education, and others in the field seek and trust her opinion. It's a great example of a notary expert. Let's talk about a specialist in the notary field. We'll talk about Matt Miller. He is the president of the California League of Independent Notaries and co-author of the Apostle Agent Survival Guide. And he's an excellent example of a specialist specializing in at least two areas. The first is apostille work, and the second is notary legislation and policy. So let's analyze his specialist title. He concentrates on apostille and notary legislation. He is extremely skilled in both areas, which can be complicated and difficult to understand. He has invested much time and energy into understanding complete mastery over these specialties. And I don't believe he's received any special training, but has taught himself throughout his years as a notary. So if we now understand the difference between an expert and a specialist, and we see how our notary peers fit into those definitions, my final question was, how do I become an expert or a specialist? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Well, I think first we have to remember that we aren't attempting to be expert doctors or specialists like heart surgeons, right? The amount of training and experience will be much less for us than it is for people like that. So we'll follow the outline of what it takes to be an expert or specialist and try to fill it out with your current experience and see what else you need to know or accomplish to take on either of those titles. Striving to be an expert or specialist in our field is worth doing Striving for that in any field is worth doing. Why settle for being a notary public? I'm not saying that there's nothing to being a notary. We are essential members of our community. And even if most people don't know that, it doesn't change how important our role is. If you really want to beef up your knowledge and build your expert or specialist resume, I will tell you that there is one place to do it. You know I'm going to say it. That's right, NBB, Notary Business Builders. I know I talk about them a lot, but I'm not sorry to say that I will keep talking about them until all of you new or experienced notaries find your way to NBB. I won't stop talking about it. So of course, links to NBB are down in the description box. And why am I pointing you to NBB to become an expert or specialist? Because the amount of training, the amount of mentorship, the amount of growth you can get by being an NBB member will, if you put the work in, will absolutely elevate you to the level of an expert or a specialist, depending on what you want to focus on. Maybe you want to be a specialist with reverse mortgages. You can get certified to do that in NBB. Maybe you want to be a specialist with apostille facilitating. You can get certified to do that through NBB. Maybe you want to be a certified notary trust delivery agent. You can only get certified to do that through NBB. It is the place to go if you want to up your game. And becoming an expert or a specialist is about upping our game. But that's it. That's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and being a part of this small but growing family here at JKC Mobile Notary on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you don't miss a video. I post every week on Sundays, and I hope you'll come back. But until next time, go out and discover what it means for you to become an expert or specialist notary today. Bye-bye.